Investment Group is a property management team that specializes in helping landlords find and manage the best tenants for their property. We have a team of experienced and qualified professionals who are dedicated to providing our clients with the best possible service. We offer a wide range of services, including tenant screening, rent collection, and property maintenance and inspections. We are committed to providing our clients with the highest level of customer service. If you're looking for a property management team that can help you achieve your rental goals, then I encourage you to contact House Hunter Investment Group today. We would be happy to answer any questions you have and provide you with a free consultation. Hi there, I'm Chase Hunter and I'm a real estate investor. I've been investing in Detroit for over 2 years now, and I have seen some incredible opportunities for you to invest here too. I know what it's like to be new to investing in Detroit and not know where to start. But that's why I put this tour together, so that you can see all of the possibilities for yourself. On this tour, you will learn about development projects and investing opportunities happening right now in Detroit. We will tour some land bank properties and discuss funding options available to investors just like you, as well as meet some of the city's best professionals and contacts and more. Are you ready to join us on tour? Then click the link below today to join us on tour July 8th. See you there. Hi, I'm Chase Hunter, and I am a real estate investor and developer in Detroit, Michigan. Investing in Detroit was something that kept circling back around from 2017, when I even had the idea of investing. I did a lot of research and everything kept coming back to Detroit for so many reasons. The price point, the culture, and everything felt right about investing in Detroit. So it became home. I love that there are so many opportunities in Detroit, from development to home ownership to helping people become homeowners. And the fact that it was an immediate cash flow for my business, it was hands down a no-brainer for me. You should come on tour so that you can explore the possibilities for yourself and see the opportunities and see the culture and understand the vibe in Detroit. And so that you can put your feet on the ground and you can see exactly what we see when we say we are buying the block.
again. Welcome, everybody. We are so elated to have you here tonight. Thank you so much for your time. We are so grateful. Come on in. Make sure you get your pen, your paper. Get ready to take some screenshots, all that good stuff. All right. So make sure you come on in, invite a friend, share the link, share this out. We want everybody who is considering investing, thinking about investing, on the fence of investing, to just come on in and get this knowledge. All right. So you are in the right place if you are ready to change markets. You are interested in cash flow and quick cash flow. All right. And you are ready to just make an ultimate change. All right. So this is what this is about tonight. You guys know I get super, super, super excited about Detroit and when it comes to real estate investing, because when you find your thing, you find your thing. All right. So listen, we have a chat. It's going to be open. All right. And it's going to be open throughout the entire stream. So if you have any questions, make sure you go ahead and put them in the chat. And I promise you, we will get to every last question on the end. All right. So I can't stop and be looking all in different directions. I'm trying to stay focused because I'm trying to drop this knowledge and drop these gems. And we are coming to you tonight to give you just that. All right. So make yourselves comfortable. I hope you got your water and all that good stuff, because we are about to get started. All right. So without further ado, I'm Chase Hunter, and I am real estate investor and developer in Detroit, Michigan. Right. I know I've said so much. A lot of people think I live there. I kind of do in a sense, a little bit. I've been investing in Detroit for about next month on the 24th will make 2 years. 2 years, 7 doors later, and I am extremely excited, just as much as I was when I started. The only thing I regret is not doing it sooner. I promise I regret. That's the only regret. When I thought about it in 2017, I should have done it then. All right. So that's a little bit about me, but the show is not only about me, and I'm not the only one that's going to be dropping gems tonight. So I have my awesome co-host, Tracy. So go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hey there, what up, though? That is a saying from Detroit. I am born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. My name is Tracy Fitzpatrick. I don't know if I said that. And I'm the owner of Onyx Blue Consulting. I am also a real estate investor as well as a future developer. Detroit is an awesome city. Like I said, born and raised there. So come on, we can show you some good things here in Detroit.
We definitely are going to do that. All right. So, Tracy, we want to open up with you telling us a little bit about, because you born and raised there. So, we hear a lot about Detroit. We hear a lot about the population and, Detroit's trying to come back, maybe, kind of, sort of. What's the tea? What is going on and what is happening in Detroit right now?
Well, Detroit is definitely revitalizing, and they're spending a lot of money with the downtown area and revitalizing a lot of restaurants, different companies coming where the headquarters are being centered around downtown Detroit. We have major neighborhoods. We have from the gamut of the low income as well as the affluent historic department. Cities, as far as the Palmer Hook Park, Boston Edison, different things like that. Up and coming, as you see, these are the main attractions here from Detroit. We got the Motown Museum that they're redoing, and I think it's on the second phase at this point. They have the original house there that the Motown studio was originally there, and now they're expanding. So it's going to expand to the entire block. Something to see if you definitely hit Detroit. Next, we have the Riverwalk, which is rated #1 for the 3rd year in a row as the best Riverwalk in the United States. At the bottom, we have the Home of the Future 2024 Super Bowl champions, Ford Field. And then to the left, we have Belle Isle, which is its own, the first public park. And it's on a little island, so you have to take a little bridge to get to it. Very historic park. And then we have, it's the home of the big three. So at the top, you have the GM Tech Center. Then you have Ford headquarters. And then you have the Chrysler, now Stellantis headquarters. So the original big three are housed here.
Absolutely. Now, when I first went to Detroit, I closed the same day, and it was like sight unseen. I'm closing on properties, which is insane to most people. I tell you, if I had to do it again, yes, I would do it again. Right. But one of the things that was important to me was understanding the culture of Detroit and learning, the historical things that was going on in Detroit, because you go and you're like, what happened? It's like somebody kind of in some areas took a bomb and just dropped it in and just
absolutely,
it never recovered. And it's like, whoa, right? It's kind of jolting. Like, okay, well, what happened? What happened to the city? This is Motown, right? This is the Motor City. Like, what happened? And for me, it was important to understand, how does a population go from 1 million to 500,000, right? And what is keeping it together, and what is that piece that's holding it together, right? So one thing that I really love about Detroit is that the people that come together and say, you know what, we're going to rebuild our city, right?
Absolutely.
And not just that, but Tracy, there are other people coming from
other states, other countries,
yes, building and developing as well, right? So when I say that the possibilities and the opportunities are endless,
absolutely,
like I really can't do it any justice unless you like see it in person and boots on ground, so you can really get a gist. So Tracy, a lot of people talk about the neighborhoods and zip codes and things like that, and like they're saying, oh, I need to stay because they on YouTube University, right?
Yes.
And they're doing a lot of research because they're not watching my channel. Okay, shameless plug. But kind of go into that and tell them about how the neighborhoods and zip codes are really kind of like set up in Detroit, because it's very unique and it's very different.
Yes. So we have a total of 34 zip codes in the city of Detroit alone. And they are separated by zones, I guess you want to say. So you have like the west side, you have the east side, you have the northeast side, you have the northwest side, you have downriver, you have southwest Detroit. So southwest Detroit and downriver, of course, circle around the waters. So like Wyandotte, there's other cities that circle around the waterfront pretty much. But people have their preference, of course, just like anything else. But you could find opportunities in any of the zip codes. It's just you have to do your research. So a lot of people have preference because either they know somebody that lives in Detroit that tells them, hey, stay away from this area or go from that area, et cetera, et cetera. You got to understand this is a blue collar town. So everything is centered around the automotive industry pretty much. And so once that goes, when we hit the market 2008, the housing market crashed, the big three was in bankruptcy, all of those things, a lot of things left the city and a lot of people left the city as well. And then as people were thriving prior to that, they were migrating to the suburbs because you feel like you arrive, you go to the suburbs. Now those same people are migrating back downtown to the downtown area and the surrounding areas. They're more into Detroit because they want the historic homes, because the same price they're going to pay for the suburban house, they can pay for that in the historic areas in Detroit. So you get in the gamut of people coming back. And so other people from other states and countries realize this is a market. This is really a booming market at this point. So now we need to figure out how we can get into it. Now, some people in the city of Detroit, because we're here, sometimes you overlook what you see every day, right? But you go somewhere else and somebody else comes and say, oh man, this is a booming city. They're bringing, revitalizing Detroit downtown. I'm going to invest. Why it's a good time to invest, right? Because we get good price points here.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, if you have a little bit of vision,
Yes.
just close your eye, and you have a little bit of vision, you can see a lot in Detroit.
Potential.
There's a lot
Yes.
of potential. And it's amazing to me how many people that's in the city, Detroiters, actually sleep on the opportunities. And they're like, man, I was this close to this property or this, and I didn't know that it was here. So one thing I do want you to back up and talk about a little bit, because when we get into a little bit of the portion of why Detroit, I need you guys to understand like the median income, like she said it was a blue collar town, it was a blue collar city. So talk about the income and the average income.
Average income is about 44,000, and that seems low, especially with being in the automotive industry. But you're still going with the other side. That's not the people that's not working in the automotive industry, and so you're going with the average people of the minimum wage or a little bit above the minimum wage. So about 44,000 is the median income for the city of Detroit.
So you got any other persuasive things that you can drop? Any other little nuggets and gems you can drop to kind of sprinkle on top of why they should invest in Detroit?
Well, as we said, it's pretty much a gold mine. Some of the neighborhoods are desolate because those were family homes, right? And so the parents passed away and the kids live in the suburbs or another state, and the house just goes away, maybe goes back to the land bank, goes back for taxes, things like that. Great opportunity. Doesn't mean that it's not a good neighborhood. It's just that no one took the time, or nobody left the house to somebody that cared about keeping the house. So then what happens is the house goes vacant, and eventually lose for taxes or things like that. So it's a great opportunity. And then on top of that, there are lots next to these houses that you can acquire as well. So definitely renters and the investors opportunity, great opportunity for investors. So
absolutely. All right. There you have it. You heard it from Tracy.
Hey everybody, Chase here. I just wanted to take a minute to say thanks so much for joining the info session tonight. Now is the time to start thinking about all the questions that you want to ask related to the tour. All right. So I hope to see you on tour in July and help assist you with your real estate goals. Be blessed.
Here comes my favorite part, buying Detroit real estate tour. All right, y'all, we're about to get into the nitty gritty of buying real estate in Detroit and why Detroit. All right, why Detroit? Because the cash flow, that's number one. We're going to talk about how the cash flow is so amazing. All right. So here's a reason why. Renters take up to 52%. They make up 52% of Detroit. Okay. The real estate. Can you imagine that? Half the population are renters. And properties, as we say, and as you will see if you go on tour, properties are absolutely not hard to find. Like when I opened up and I told you guys, I said, if you're looking for cash flow, if you're looking for a change in markets, maybe you are in another city, another state, and it doesn't work. The numbers don't work. If you're like in a DC or New York, California, Atlanta, where the numbers really don't work anymore, and you really want that quick cash flow, that bang for your buck, Detroit is it. All right, 52% renters, and it's so high. Like even renters, like they will hunt you down if they know you are a landlord. I literally get calls at least 4 times a week from someone that got my number from someone that said, hey, do you have any properties available? Do you have any on the east side? Do you have any on the west side? I'm looking, and my tenants, they don't want to leave. So I don't have a high turnover rate. So I don't have properties readily available. So I always have to end up referring them to someone else. And the question that I ask all the time is like, why haven't you thought about buying? right? Why haven't you not, you know, if you're paying $1,400 in rent, yes, cash flow, okay, $1,300, $1,400, or $1,500. Well, not then. Well, some are paying $1,300, $1,400, but a lot of people are on programs, right? They're on government programs and government assistance. So that kind of ties back into the low and the average income, right? So they have a lot of government assistance. There are a lot of people that take advantage of them. And so House Hunter Investments has partnered with two different type of government programs, domestic violence programs and Section 8 programs. And we are like top of the referral list. So when we have things open or they need someone to get in one of our units, they call us and say, hey, this is what we have, and they take care of their expenses. So the opportunities are always there, and building partnerships and building relationships like that are, you know, they're not super easy, because you have to kind of get in where you fit in, and you have to really just have one, your ear to the street. You have to have connected. I'm connected. And just be in the right place at the right time, right? And just really being like, hey, available. As I always say, once you're available, the opportunity happens and things really happen. All right. So the next thing is creative financing. All right. So a lot of people, you know, you do a lot of research on online, and like, what is up with this whole creative financing thing, and what is that all about? So it's an easy market for land contracts, land bank homes, and other loan products, right? So what does that mean? Land contracts are basically the same thing as what we would call anywhere else around the country seller financing. That's when the seller and the buyer get together. Is one of my favorite programs to actually be a part of. It's when the seller and the buyer come together, leave the bank out. They come up and negotiate their own terms, you know, between interest rate, how long we're going to make this payment, and keep the banks out, right? So you're able to accumulate properties faster, because now you have a rapport with either another investor or a homeowner that's saying, hey, either I want to just sell this property, I'm tired of it, or I want to get out of it, but I don't want to go through the bank, I don't want to go through that long process. And you have a seller that's saying, hey, you know, I don't want to, or a buyer saying, hey, I don't want it to affect my DTI, and I really don't want to go through all the wait times and the nuances and things like that. So in other loan products, there are banks out there with the right that caters to these Michigan homes, because they understand the income, they understand the culture, they understand the need. So they know when it comes to home buying and the prices of the homes being so low in Detroit, they know how to work with that. They know how to negotiate the terms. They know how to get the deals done, right? Whereas you go to a Chase or Wells Fargo, or, you know, these larger banks, PNCs and things like that, they may not quite understand or really want to do the deal, because they think they're not going to get any money out of it, right? So doing deals and finding and funding deals, you know, a lot of people think is really complicated, but I always say, if you have the right strategy, you go in with your goals, you create the goals that, what do you want from real estate? What do you want for each property needs an assignment, right? All 7 of our doors have an assignment, okay? It could be to pay off a credit card debt. It could be to send a kid to college. It could be, you know, for retirement. You know, I teach people how to set and how to make this money work for retirement, how to pull your retirement down and put into these investment properties so that you can accumulate your money faster, because your money is not accumulating fast, or as fast as it would in real estate, especially in Detroit with a high cash flow, right? So just some things to think about, like, what is my money doing when it's sitting over here, you know, in this 401k and this IRA, you know, what's the percentage rate versus the cash flow that I can be getting monthly right? To put this back into the property. So those are some of the things that we think about when we talk about creative financing, right? Also, one of my favorite is the side lot programs. As far as the development opportunities, the development opportunities are so endless and easy when it comes to Detroit, right? So let's say you own a property. You own a property. This is why Chase Hunter, favor properties that are next to vacant lots, because it's easier to obtain the lot, right? If you are next to another property or a vacant property, which happens often, then you can't really take advantage of the development and you can't really take advantage of the lot. But if you own the property, okay, you own the property, you can get if it's a vacant lot next to it, in front of it, or 500 feet within the property, you can buy that property for $100. Let me repeat it for the people in the back. The side lot program allows you to purchase a side lot, yes, that you can build on for $100. And guess what? If you buy a lot that's next to another lot, that's $100 too. And if that lot is next to another vacant lot, guess what? That's $100 too. So anything, again, within 500 feet of whatever you own is $100. This is why you don't have to be a major, developer. And this is helping you develop. This is how you become a developer easy in Detroit. When you hear people say that they are buying blocks in Detroit, this is why. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the average home price, which is $79,900. So remember, and this is for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, unfinished basement, right? Most of the basements in Detroit are not finished. It's not like something that's going to be like here and, it will add value, to the property if it is finished, but it's not something that people are, I'm not going to touch it because it's an unfinished basement. Not in Detroit, right? So let me tell you, I know you're like, if you are in wherever city, think about whatever city, state you in, right? And somebody tells you that there's a property for $79,000, and what are you going to think? Like, it's either in the hood, it's tore down, it's raggedy, you got to put a lot of work in it, you got to do all those things, right? When you're thinking, I know in Texas where I live, you would not dare. You're like, okay, what's wrong with it? What's going on with that property that is $79,000? Why are they giving it away, right? No, that is not the same when you think about it in Detroit. So to kind of show you the properties that are around this price range, here are just a few of our properties that are within that exact price range. The one at the top left is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, unfinished basement. That's in that price point, tenant occupied. And the tenant had a 2-year lease that a program paid the entire lease for them. The second one at the top right is a 3, I call it the sister to the first one because they kind of mirror each other inside, but it is also a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. It rents out for $1,350. It's a Section 8 property. That's one of my favorite tenants that's in this property. It is the basement down has another it's not a full room, but it is something that they converted into a bedroom because of the way that it's set up. It's its own private room. The only thing that doesn't make it a full room, and we can't classify it as a room because it doesn't have a closet. So, but this property is very nice, and this is a Section 8 property that we are transitioning into because we work with another program that helps them buy their properties. All right. So the third one on the down and the left is my absolute favorite property. This is our third door that we purchased. It's actually a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a finished basement. She's not on any programs, but she loves the house so much. Every time her lease is up, she's like, can I please buy the house? This is one of my favorite properties. She loved it so much, she moved down in the basement because the basement is fully finished. It has a sauna in this property. It has a full bathroom downstairs. It has the basement looks like an apartment, basically. It looks like a 1-bedroom apartment. It's absolutely stunning. It has a bar down there. It's amazing, and she loves this property. The one on the right is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, unfinished basement, and it rents for $1,400. This is another program tenant who also wants to transition and buy the property as well. So these are all within that price point of $79,000, and they cash flow monthly, right? So all of these properties, and I can tell you, I don't believe in having properties sit. So when I know I'm getting ready to close, before I close, there's a tenant in place. That's a strategy that I've been using, and that it works, and it works for everyone, right? So that I personally am, and the tenant is paying down your mortgage, right? So it's a win-win for everybody, all right? Like, I can't express to you guys how super excited I am about these properties. All right, so make sure, that's all I have for right now, right? Because I want to answer your questions, but make sure you go ahead and follow us on social media. If you are not following me on the gram, you may want to. You may also want to follow us on Facebook as well. And I forgot to put YouTube, but it's The Chase Hunter on YouTube, because I drop little nuggets like this. I drop updates about the properties and everything, if we're doing rehabs, renovations, and things like that. And sometimes tenant issue, not really tenant issues, but tenant inspections and things like that. So I kind of post that there to kind of keep people, because they love that content of what's happening in Detroit. Every time I do post something in Detroit, those videos do very, very well. So we want to hop into the tour, the actual tour, and what's going to be happening on tour day. Okay, so it's going to look a little like this. It's going to open up with registration, breakfast, and networking, because I think it's important that when you build community, you get to know one another, you get to really see the purpose of why everybody else is there, right? You get to understand people's purpose, you get to understand their passion, and this is where partnerships are formed, right? Sometimes people say, hey, let's partner on the deal together, let's go ahead and make this thing happen. I've seen people partner up and get apartment complexes, small apartment complexes. It happens, and it's a beautiful thing, right? It's a win-win for everyone. We're gonna have a couple of speakers and a panel of a developer. He's going to be there. If you saw the flyer, Calvin McGee. If you put Detroit Land Bank, he and I will be the number one, and we will come up. So I had to have him come up because he has 14, I think I last counted 14 land bank properties that he purchased, and he loves land bank properties, and that's his niche. I love land contracts, which is another niche, and I'm super excited about that. And of course, we are bringing some fire lenders that that handle different products and talk about different arenas of investing and what product will work best for you and how to get funded. Okay. Then we're going to break for lunch. And then the juicy part, the field tour, right? We're going to go see some development projects. We're going to see some apartment complexes, vacant and occupied. And then we're going to see some tenant occupied properties, the ones that you saw. Some of those are like, hey, yeah, they can come on in and see what we've done, because we, just to kind of understand how the land bank properties work and what they look like once they are rehabbed. That's super important. So we're going to go see some of those, and then it's going to be pretty much this long day. We're probably going to see quite a few properties so that you can get a variety and understand how you want to invest and where you want to invest, because that's super important if you see a diverse group of things, right? And then we're going to return to the conference room, and we're going to kind of debrief. And next thing is we're going to do dinner. It's an optional dinner. You're more than welcome to join us. We'll be busing people over to a nice little dinner spot if that's something that you want to do, or if you are tired, because I'm a workaholic, so I can wear you out.
Yes.
Wear you out for sure. So, if you're tired and you say, hey, Chase, and you want to hang back at the hotel and maybe have dinner there, that's fine too. Or you want to come on out and, see around the D and look around the D and stuff like that. That would be an awesome opportunity. And we can kind of have some one-on-one time as well. They kind of pick your brain. This is the only time I'm not going to send the invoice if you pick my brain. Okay? So you might want to be there, all right, and be in the place. So if you want to sign up and you are interested in signing up for the tour, make sure you go to househunting.com. Even if you put househunting.com, the real estate tab is up there. It'll say real estate. You just click the links. I made it super, super, super easy to do. And you can do all of that. Now, Tracy's going to kind of chime in and talk about how transportation and hotel arrangements and how all of that is going to flow.
Okay. So the host hotel is the Hilton Garden Inn in Southfield. And there you have the address, 26000 American Drive, Southfield, Michigan. And that's about 25 minutes from the airport. You can choose to take a Lyft or a Uber, or get your rent-a-car and drive to Southfield, which, like I said, 20 to 25 minutes from the airport and about 20 minutes from downtown. Around there's a on-site restaurant, but there's also within 1 to 3 miles, various restaurants, fast food, Starbucks, pizza, Chinese, soul food. So a variety. It's in a good area where there's a variety of different restaurants that you can check out if you like to. So, and there's a movie theater around there as well. But that's pretty much it. So if you need transportation, you can get an Uber, Lyft, or rent a car at the airport and drive to Southfield.
All right. So we want to be good stewards of your time. So we're going to get to jump into the questions right now. And if you have any questions, well, right now we're going to have our moderator come up and help us with the questions right now.
Hi, good evening, everyone. We have Miss April. Miss April wants to know, how should we start researching neighborhoods and/or zip codes to purchase in?
So I will tell you firsthand, I tried that and it was an epic fail. Okay.
Yes.
And I say that because, for a year, I felt like literally I wasted a year trying to look at different videos and different things about zip codes. But Detroit is so not set up like that. It's literally block by block.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you can be on a block that's no vacancies or hardly any vacant homes. and you can go one block over and it's like maybe 4 houses on the entire block.
Exactly.
Right. So going by zip codes is really, it's what you make it, right? You have people that say, hey, I only want to buy on the east, or I only like the east side, or I only like the west side. Well, I have properties on the east and the west, right? And it's like, my thing is, where's the cash flow?
Exactly.
Right. That's my only concern. That's my only concern. Is it, you know, because they know, like the people that rent, the tenants that when they rent, they're like, they know, hey, they'll say I want the east or I want the west, and they'll have a preference of where they want to be, and they go there. They don't really care where on the east or the west. It's just because they know how it's set up, right? So I don't want you to kind of get hung up on looking specifically for zip codes, because you can kind of get lost in the sauce, and then you can miss some really hidden jewels and gems by researching and trying to go by those zip codes. I hope I answered your question.
Hey, Chase, look, I have Miss Teresa. Miss Teresa says, sign me up. She ready to go.
All righty.
Amazing. Yeah, you can listen, you can so get your tickets tonight. Right now, the links is up, it's live, it's active. You can go to househunting.com. The link that's right there on the screen.
Yes.
And you can definitely sign up.
We also have one other question. Miss Teresa says, what is the requirement to get land bank properties? I know some states require you to be a resident.
I love that question. That's an amazing question. Guess what? All you have to do is be a warm body.
Yes.
That's it. It's the only requirement. Be a warm body. You do not have to be a resident. You don't have to, you can get it in your personal name, or you can get it in your business name. If you get it in your business name, that's a little different. Not that much different. It's just the title deed and all that process looks a little different. And when you're getting ready to set up utilities and all that jazz, it just looks a little bit different. But as far as it being like major requirements, you know, for you as a person, it's just a good, wholesome, warm body. Yep. And willing and able to put in some work.
Some work, yes.
Do some work, yep.
Absolutely.
So Miss Madeline says she's here for it all.
Amazing. Right. Hi, Madeline. How you guys?
And Miss Tyra says she's ready now. She says, I'm ready now.
All right. I think this is and I know, because I can tell you guys firsthand, I have been on a lot of tours. If you go to the page, to the website, you'll see I put all the tours that I've gone on. And by far, like I've always said, man, I wish I had this. Man, I wish they did this. I wish they did that. So we took that and we put that in this.
Absolutely.
Right? We made sure that you walked away and when you walk away, here's what I'm going to tell y'all. When y'all walk away, y'all going to have my playbook. How about that? You will have my playbook on how I did this and have made a very, very lucrative life from this. You are literally getting my playbook. You're getting my resources. You're getting my lenders. You're getting my all of my contacts. You're getting my little tidbits on what I do for Section 8. You're getting my inspectors. You're getting the best of the best. You're getting my playbook. I am handing you my playbook, because if you're always anywhere in my ecosystem, I want you to win, right? It's all about us winning. It's all about, I don't want anyone to get out here and fail. Real estate is hard enough. And it's not enough people that look like us that are doing this, right? Absolutely. So once you are in it, I'm like, I want to see more of us. Right. I hate it when I see, HGTV and I see these white people coming in and thinking they're, taking over Detroit and, we're buying the block and knock it off. right? Like we can do the same thing. Why can't we not come in as a unit and we own these apartment complexes as well? We own, you know, the blocks as well. And we are really taking over. You know, I'm competing with a bunch of men, right? I come in, I'm like a little silent assassin, you know. I have to come in and come out, and it's very few that are like, wait a minute, I heard about you. You own this and this, right? So they'll get to know you after a while, and then the respect comes. But at the same time, I'm like, I want more of us to be doing it. And I think we don't have the right tools and resources to do that because so many people want to gatekeep, and I don't gatekeep. I don't gatekeep. So if I know, you know, right? You know, you have to pay for this knowledge. I need y'all to pay to come on tour. But in essence, you will have my playbook, and I promise you, you will not regret it.
Absolutely.
Do we have any more questions to our amazing moderator?
I don't see that there is anything else in the chat. I think we have everything. I think we've answered everyone's question. It looks like everyone's excited and ready to be signed up and ready to go on tour.
Good.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, absolutely. So if you have any more questions, you guys can always, you know, send me, if you're on Facebook, you can always shoot me a message. You can always email me at info@househunting.com, same domain that's on the screen. And you can let me know. I think we have another question. Are you planning to offer more tour dates? Yes, just not this year.
No.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah, we got our plate full.
Isn't it right? Okay. It's a little busy. And not only that, is I and Tracy, we want you to be comfortable on tour. Okay. And that's why July is a perfect time, because guess what? In Michigan, it really doesn't get hot. Michigan doesn't have that southern heat.
Absolutely.
Right? That it doesn't, so it's comfortable, it's tolerable, and it's not like a brutal winter. Right. So we have to do it when times are where the weather is good, when it's not snowing, and it's basically wintertime, because I try to avoid it like AIDS. But just saying, don't want you coming out after the wintertime. So right now I can tell you now, we probably won't have another one until early spring when the weather breaks in Michigan, and it's really nice, because I don't like anybody to be miserable, right? Because I don't like to be miserable. I will never, ever, ever put you in that situation. I will never do that to you, right? Because it's brutal. Everyone's, you know, if you're from the South, you can't take that cold. It's a different type of cold in Michigan, right? You have to wear a lot of layers, and then your layer have to wear layers, right? So, it's a lot, okay? It's a lot, and I do not want to put anyone through that. So I want you to, you know, be able to move around freely and be comfortable. So yes, we definitely want to get to the point where we have 2 a year, at least 2 a year, so that we can bring new investors in, because when we bring new investors in, there's more opportunities and more cash flow for you guys. And if nothing else, I want the city to be to be revitalized, right? That's an amazing look. They're putting a lot of money in Detroit right now. They're putting a lot of money downtown, and it's a lot of money to be made. There's some sports events. I think you said Final Four coming in a couple of years. So there are a lot of attractions that are coming that you want to be a part of, right? That is like you kind of start, you know, making those moves now, so you can be ready when that opportunity comes. Absolutely. All right. Any more questions? I don't see any more that have come up in the chat. But if you guys do, you can go ahead. I hope you sign up tonight. I hope you do, because the first 5 people get a very, very special gift, right? We already have a few, so I think we only have like 1 or 2 more spots that qualify, but I'm gonna hook y'all up because I like y'all, right? I like y'all anyway. But yeah, so go ahead and sign up for the tour. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, the hotel link is on there as well. It's an amazing rate for Hilton, trying to tell you. You are so welcome, April. I can't wait to meet you. I am so excited to meet new people. I just love it. All right. So thank you so much for your time. We are going to sign off. I appreciate you so much for being here. I'm sure Tracy does as well.
Yes, I do. And we're looking forward to seeing you on the tour.
Absolutely. I'm a ball of fun, y'all. I'm a ball of energy.
Yes,
So you will get this the whole tour. I promise you. So see you in July. Have a blessed night, everyone.
good night.